Hello everyone, this is the Texas Warrior here, and today we're going to be doing what I hope will be the first of an instructable series I'll be doing weekly, where I show you how to make different things that should help you in, day-to-day survival activities. The first thing, it's really simple to make. You should be able to make it out of stuff you have lying around your house. It's going to be a tripwire. Now I'm just going to show you how to actually make the tripping device. I may give you some ideas on what you can do with it, but I'm going to leave that to you. What we're making today is just the device that you will use. They will actually be doing the tripping. We're going to need several things. The first thing we're going to need is 3 pieces of wire. Now, this wire that I have right here is not going to be ideal at all. This is actually from a mouse, a computer mouse that I stripped the ends off of. And this is not enough copper, not, big enough wire to really conduct a very good charge. And so you're definitely going to want something bigger than this. This will work for demonstration purposes. But you're going to need 3 sections of this with each with the ends stripped off. Okay? And after that, you're going to need electrical tape. I think you probably could use any tape. It's really just going to be to hold the wires on. Electrical tape is probably going to be best because it doesn't catch on fire as easy. After that, string. Any string will do. Probably stronger stuff is what you're going to want. This is just something I had lying around. This will work for demonstration purposes again. But you may want something bigger for actual use. Depending on where you're going to put it, you may want something that blends in. It's harder to see. This black, I think this is black. I'm not colorblind. Should work alright for what we're doing though. Alright, we're going to need next a little piece of wood. Doesn't have to be too big. You just need it big enough to fit into what our next item is, and that is a clothes hanger. Not a clothes hanger, a clothes clip, whatever it is. A little wooden one. You want it to be able to fit right in that part right there, to keep those separated. Something a little bit bigger than this might be ideal, just to make sure they're separated, maybe not that much. But this will work today. Alright. Next 2 things we're going to need aluminum foil. Just, household aluminum foil. Easy to get. Everybody has it. Nothing else worth talking about on that. Next thing, last thing, this is a 9-volt battery. Depending on what you want to use this for, you may want to use a larger battery. You could use like a lantern battery, or even like a car battery if you needed it for something large enough. If you needed a large enough charge. That rhymes. That's it for what we're going to need. Just these items. With that, we should be able to make a tripwire. And I'll get started with the next part of this video. Alright, part 2 of this video. We are going to put all this stuff together and make us a tripwire. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take aluminum foil. We want to tear this into some little strips. You want these strips, they're going to wrap around the ends of this clothespin. And you may already see where this is going, but you're going to wrap that aluminum foil around the end of these clothespins. So let's tear a little bit of that off. I'll do that outside of camera range so I can get a better grip on it. Okay. That's the first step completed right there. I'm going to go ahead and say you definitely do not want the aluminum foil touching these little metal prongs on this thing. You do not want that complete connection right there between pieces. You only want these things to be touching when it's like that, not when it's like that by touching those metal pieces and coming back around. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and put some tape over these little edges, just to be sure that it's definitely not going to be conductive, because I do not want that happening. So hold on just a second, we'll do that. Okay, we got some tape on there just to be sure, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'm going to test it out to be sure, but I don't think we're going to have any problems with that. Okay, next step is we're going to take one piece of wire. Probably take this, let's see, take this shorter piece right here. And we're going to take this, and we're going to tape it to the back of this piece of aluminum foil. So this is why you really need a bigger wire, because you're not going to be able to conduct very well with this thin, very thin copper wire. So we're going to tape this to this end, and we're going to tape this other piece of wire to the other end of this clothespin. Alright, and let me do that, and we'll get back and go on to the next step. Alright, that is that. You can see we have our 2 wires taped on here. You know, actually I got to think about it after I was doing this, and you could have got away with just putting the wire underneath the aluminum foil and wrapping the aluminum foil around on top of it. That actually may be easier. I think I'll leave something in the description saying maybe you can do that instead. This will work though. It may be a little bit more difficult. And you definitely, if you're really doing this, you want to make sure that these wires are really secure. You don't want them coming up, and you could definitely not do such a sloppy job as this. This is just something quickly thrown together to demonstrate kind of the principle of what you're doing. Okay, next step, we're going to take one end of this, and we are going to wrap it. Well, actually, before we do that, we're going to go ahead and break this circuit. How we're going to do that, we're going to open this up, and we're going to take that, and we're going to insert that in there. So there's no part of that aluminum touching any other part of that aluminum. That's why I say you may want some more separation than just something really skinny like this little stick. Depending on how important it is that these things do not touch, you may want something, you know, separating quite a bit larger. Okay. Now we'll go to the next step. The next step is we're going to take this copper wire, and we're going to wrap it around one terminal, or pole, or however you say it, of this battery. And I'll do that right now. If you're working with a larger battery, you may want to wear rubber gloves or something just to be sure you don't get shocked, because that wouldn't be fun. These, though, there's not really any danger in these little 9-volt batteries. I'm going to go ahead and tape this on this side right here. And so I'll cut for a second while we do that. Okay, we're back. Here's this. We've got that terminal set up, so now we've got it looking like this. Next step we're going to do is we're going to, we're going to take this little piece of, whatever piece of wood you have, breaking up those two things. See, look there. That tape job was very poor. It's already coming off. I'm not using this for any tactical applications. Anyway, here we go. Well, we'll show you how to do it. Maybe you'll do a better job than I'm doing right here. Okay. And on the end of this wood, which really doesn't need to be nearly that long, break that off. May go ahead and tape these two pieces together. That way we can get a little more separation. I will do that, and then we'll get back, and we'll go on to the next step. Got it a little better separated now, so we'll go on to what I'm doing the next step at. Next step, we're going to want to take our string. We're going to get, really this part is going to depend on the application you're using it for. What you're going to do with this string is you're going to string it across a passageway. You could even connect it between the back of a door, so that when it's open, that it'll pull this string. But you want it long enough for your application. You'll see what the application is once we get further in, but you're going to want this long enough that it's useful for whatever you're doing. I'm going to go ahead and cut off a short piece and cut, and we'll go back to the next part. Okay, we're back, and I have secured the string onto this side of the piece of wood with tape. As you can see, the string runs out right through the end right there. I went ahead and wrapped it around a couple times before taping it, because you really want this to be secure, because it's going to be getting pulled on. You can see it's still separated. The weakest part so far is definitely where I have the cable hooked up to the back of this aluminum foil. It's just really not very secure, which it doesn't have to be super secure, but you do want to make sure that the copper is coming in contact with that aluminum foil. So this is not ideal, but it'll, you know, like I said, it'll serve a purpose. Okay, we're going to next go ahead and we're going to add on, well, the final part really. Everything is pretty much added here. This is the part we're going to, I'm going to take this last wire and I'm going to wrap it around this pole of this little battery. Simple like that. Shouldn't take much effort to do. And okay, I'm gonna wrap it around. I'm gonna tape that on, and we'll cut, and I'll show you the finishing up. Okay, we've got that taped on. So now we have this device. Okay, string attached on this end over here, and we've got this part right here. This blank spot between these two end cables right here. That's you. This is where you decide what you want to be tripped. This is the complete tripping device. I'll show you how it works, but right here is where you know, whatever you want to be tripped, it goes right here. If it can be tripped by having electrical current pass through it, then it can be used in this device. I'm going to show you how it works. How it works is, well, you probably already figured it out. You hook up your device here, and then, well, as long as this is in between there's no complete circuit. You're golden. There should be nothing going on. I will not assume any liability for anything you do on this, but you know, theoretically, if you do everything right, there should be no contact. See right there on mine, that aluminum foil is too close. You really don't want it that close, especially not for some applications. How it works is you tie this string across a path or to the back of a door, where whenever that's opened, it is going to pull. I'm going to go ahead and let it come out because I don't have strong enough string. It's going to pull that out of there. When it does, this clothespin will snap shut, and when it does, it completes that circuit when that aluminum foil touches, and it completes it. And whatever you've got going on over here should, as you can see, you can probably see, I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's smoking, so it is definitely making contact. That's what you want. So whenever that snap closed like that, whatever was attached to this, especially if you had a larger battery, like a lantern battery or a car battery, whatever you attach this to is definitely going to get a significant charge to pass through it. And that, you know, depending on what it is, it's going to accomplish what you want accomplished. That said, there's a lot of applications for this. You can use it as a alarm system. There's more nefarious applications, obviously, but I don't endorse any of those. That'd be against YouTube's terms and policies, I imagine. So I'm not going to endorse any of those applications, and I'm not going to be responsible for anything you do with this device. All this is a simple tripwire, and I'm going to say, home alarm system, ghetto rigged up. This is something you can use. And with that, if you guys want another video demonstrating, I may actually do that anyway. Take it out, hook it up to something, and demonstrate how it actually works. And if you want that, let me know in the comments. And I think that'll be it for today. And as the first video, I want to say, if you like the video, and comment. If you got if you can think of a way that I could work this out better. Obviously, this is really sketchy the way I taped that on, and I'm not gonna say to do it like that, but you get the general idea. But if you can think of any other better way, message me or comment so everyone can see it, and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. Thank you, and I'll see you next week for whatever the next installment is. Later.